All right, we are live. What is going on, everybody? It's Black Ice here, Director of Player Personnel for Motiv8 Gaming, here with owner Carlos Aswaje.
Hey, how's it going, Cam? Good to see you on episode 2, episode numero dos
Numero
of the
dos, Motiv8 Monday
of
podcast.
the Motivate Monday podcast here, keeping you guys up to date with Motivate Gaming and everything that has to do with esport gears. Great show this year. Great show this week. I'm sorry, this year. Yeah, great show this week. A lot to cover. A lot to cover. We have the Mexico City review. We have the Las Vegas announcement, Vital getting pro status, Optic Gaming, and a couple in-house stuff. So, it's definitely an exciting week for Motivate Gaming. Just coming off of Mexico City, which was an astounding event. I mean,
Amazing.
really, Cam, this was one of the best events I've ever experienced
It was-
personally. I'm so thankful that I had the ability to go and experience that for
Very-
firsthand for sure.
Very true. It was like, from what I saw out of any Gears event so far, it was like the Super Bowl of Gears events. And that was very exciting to see for the community and for Gears as a whole, It's just very, very exciting stuff
Oh, yeah.
for Gears of War.
Oh, absolutely. And just the atmosphere that was created in Mexico City by the coalition and Microsoft. Hats off to Data Sison and all the executive producers at Microsoft and the coalition for putting on such a quality event. Nothing was held back, really. I mean, we're talking about thousands of fans. I think there was over 100 teams that performed, that competed. Just the quality of competition was great. And honestly, I want to talk about our team a little bit. Because I feel like Motivate
Absolutely.
Gaming really put themselves on the map. Our players did such a great job this weekend. I'm so proud of what our team accomplished. We placed top 8. We finished top 8, which I know that the guys were a little bit disappointed, a little bit underwhelmed with what they did. They felt like they could have done a little bit better. But I tell you what, from an executive standpoint, I couldn't be more happy with the way they handled themselves, the professionalism that they showed, and for the future, really. This group seems to be definitely one that's very hardworking, one that's able to take criticism from one another, and one that wants to stick together and move together as a group, as a unit, and that's something that I really value. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I look at these guys, and it's just really exciting stuff. And what's really exciting about it is that they all want to build together. My biggest gripe with the scene is just the roster mania after every event. People place outside. They'll place top 12. We're expecting top 8, and then they disband. And it's sad, really, because you got, especially for this game, it's so team-based compared to other Gears. You got to stay together, and you got to, sorry about that, that was a follower. So whoever followed, thank you for the follow, appreciate it, but let me get back into it. But yeah, you really got to stay together and grind it out. You got to build the chemistry, and it's, people, will drop somebody just because they're, quote unquote, a bigger name, more skill, whatever. But I mean, I feel like all these players are skilled, so at this point, it's a matter of time, just to build and grow as a team. And I feel like a lot of teams disband and don't give themselves, that chance. So that's
absolutely.
That's one of my
absolutely.
gripes.
I mean, look at the roster changes that just happened. Literally 24 hours after the tournament, we have a free agent in Zerpting now, who's a quality player. I mean, this guy is one of the most talented players out there. You know what I mean? And he's been in the scene for quite a while, and he's established himself as a pro player. He gets let go, and he's essentially a free agent right now. And there's sure to be there's Strangulate that's now a free agent. There's numerous teams that are disbanding immediately after this event. And it just leads me to question the real intentions of organizations and players in the community as far as like their understanding for winning championships. You can take a look at Optic Gaming, right? Let's just talk about Optic Gaming for a second, right? Look at how steady their roster has been. And mind you, these are all 5 great players. They're super talented. They know the game. They're knowledgeable. But guys, they are building together. I think that's something that's definitely overlooked. You know, you can have 5 of the most talented players, but if they don't know how to play as a team, if they don't shoot for each other, if they don't support each other effectively, you know, if they're constantly, you know, talking badly about one another during the competition, you know, it's just not going to work out. You know, and you can see this, and this is, I think, for me, the easiest parallel between professional sports and professional esports. You know, it doesn't take a genius to know that talent doesn't win you championships all the time. Sure, you know, talent will get you in the door. You know, I'm a big believer in that. You know, you do have to have a talented team. You know, if you have 5 of the most talented players, you're going to have a chance. But that chance will be overcome by a team that knows how to play as a unit. You know, and if you look at this game type, you know, they made this game type, that being escalation, specifically for esports. And this is a game type where it takes 5 players working in unison to win a game. You know, it's no longer just a run and gun, you know, who can kill who type of game. This takes strategy, this takes cooperation, and this takes patience from their players.
Exactly, you know, and those dudes from Optic, a lot of them have been playing together for years, you know, and they have that chemistry, you know, and then you put that with the skill, and that's why they're such a dangerous team, you know, and it's just I can't stand it, man. I can't stand the roster mania after every event, and, you know, and that's. You know, we're fortunate to have 5 guys, you know, that want to build together, you know, and just want to grind it out, and, you know, and that's what it takes, man.
Exactly.
That's what it's gonna take.
That's exactly our game plan. You know, for everyone who's watching, anybody who's listening, or everybody who listens in the future, Motiv8 Gaming plans on growing with these 5 guys. You know, as long as they are willing to grow with us, we are willing to grow with them. The reason being why is because champions are built from within, and it starts from the bottom. You know, I think, you know, people don't understand that you're gonna have to go through tough times to find success. You know, in anything, including Gears of War. You know, if you know you just throw money at the game and you just handpick the 5 best players, you still might not win the championship. You still might not come out on top because it's not necessarily talent that's going to win you championships, guys. It's going to take teamwork, and it's going to take dedication, and it's going to take cooperation within the teamwork, camaraderie, you know, guys pulling for each other. And that's not something that you build overnight. You know, what we want to do here with these 5 guys that we have, and we've already seen it, you know, having played just one event. They're guys that pull for each other. You know, they're guys that are going to be supportive of one another. They're going to shoot for each other. They're going to be critical when they need to be, which I do accept, and I do you know, I do you know, value that as well, because I don't believe in living in a fantasy world where everyone just is super happy about everything. But I think there's a limit, you know, and if you're just gonna go one event and then dump a roster and pick someone else up, or pick up another 3 players and then go to the next event and do the same thing and just keeps doing it, because there's no way that we're going to compete with Optic. There's no team that's going to compete with Optic simply because they know how each other plays at a superior level. You know, it's just they understand the game. They understand, you know, oftentimes, like, if you see them in regular pool play matches, they're not talking like other teams are. They're not going crazy talking to one another. Why? Because they've established such a good relationship. They understand what each other's roles are, what they're going to do, and they can have an understanding of what's going to happen before it happens, you know. And I think that's the biggest separator at this level when it comes to Gears of War.
Exactly, and, you know, not to be the Patriot fan, you know, all you Patriot haters out there, but I'd like to compare them, you know, Optic to the Patriots, man. You know, if you look at how they operate, they always have a game plan for everybody. You know, they never overlook any team, and they're able to adapt really well. And I think you know, that's what makes Optic so successful. You know, they stay cool, calm, collective. You know, you don't see them blasting things out on social media too much. You know, they just go to handle the business, and yeah, you know, that's ultimately what it takes, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. But enough about Optic. We're talking about Motiv8 Mondays here with the Motiv8 team. So let's get back on the Mexico City, the venue itself. I mean, this place, Cam, I tell you what, I walked in this place and I was kind of shocked. This is my first event. For everybody watching out there, it's been to multiple events. This was my first event, and I've heard that this is the one to go to. But I'll tell you what, this venue was beautiful, number one. I mean, it looked like WWE setup. I mean, with the lights, the stage, the monitors everywhere, the crowd going wild. It was a real show, but, it was definitely something that I was kind of taken aback by, and I wish the entire staff of Motiv8 Gaming could have went. But it's one of those things we'll get to, in the future. But, I was super, super, super impressed by the production being put on, from the media side, from, Microsoft's and the Coalition side, from the players, the fans even that came up and showed out.
That was a big turnout. That was a big turnout.
Huge.
Over stream,
and
Carlos, it was crazy
Right.
to see. Very exciting stuff.
And that leads me to one thing that I think everyone can kind of agree that we can improve on for future events, and that's the broadcasting.
Side
I
stations.
think they do an amazing, broadcasting the side stations for me to elaborate on that. I think main stage, they do an excellent job. Everyone who's casting is absolutely unbelievable. I think they have an unbelievable cast and crew. Keep people interested and really depict a clear picture of what's going on during the game. But I mean, the side stations, we didn't even get to see our final match. It wasn't even streamed. And I just, I understand that there's much more involved than just wanting every full play match or every match to be streamed, because that takes money, time, effort, but I think there has to be at least
There's got to be more
bit of
side
understanding
stations.
that-
There's got to be 3 streams
Right,
at least.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I feel like there's just got to be a little bit more effort in showcasing other games and other streams that people are interested in. It's unfortunate when we find out we're knocked out of a tournament through a tweet that one of our players makes. It's just,
Yeah,
I think
it's
we
very
could do a better
frustrating.
job of that. It is, because, a tweet doesn't tell the same story that watching it does, and I think everyone can agree with that. A 7-6 match shouldn't, be left to a tweet. It should be something that the fans, ownership, players even get to experience firsthand through
Right.
watching, and I think there's just something left to be said about that. But for the most part, though, I'm telling you, Mexico City was an unbelievable event, unbelievable venue, and something that I really look forward to going to again in the future.
And if you want to let me touch
future-
on that, let me touch on that
Yeah, go
subject
ahead.
real quick.
Absolutely.
So, it's just I believe the top 8 teams shouldn't get all the exposure because there's a lot of fans out there that aren't fans of the Optics, the Echo Foxes, the big names, and quite frankly I believe it's better content, seeing those, top 12 teams grind it out, they're closer games, they're less predictable, and I believe they're more exciting to watch, So I believe, it greatly benefit the MLG and Gears Esports if they got a couple more side stations up, it's just, I can understand not being able to, provide commentators for all of them, but, at least get the content up, at least get the matches going. That would definitely benefit.
Right. And I mean, ultimately, the community is going to grow the more content we put out. Right? As a community,
Absolutely.
the more content we can produce, the more content we can shove in people's faces and say, hey, we're Gears of War, and this is our community, and this is what we're about. The more attention we're going to get, and ultimately we're going to grow as a game and as an esports community. And
we
it's
just-
something that definitely should be considered for sure.
Absolutely, but still talking about Mexico City here, guys. How about Fable Esports, real quick? How about those guys coming
man.
out and just shocking the Gears world? And that and see, that's the kind of stuff that makes Gears great, Because to be honest, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look at them as a serious threat at all going into the event because we scrimmed them online, we were handling them pretty good online, and those dudes came and they put out, they showed out hard, and and congrats to those guys for grinding it out, and and that's what that kind of stuff there just greatly benefits the community because everybody likes an underdog, and they're gonna pull for them, and I don't want to say we're underdogs by any means, but we're a rising team, and that that's what people want to see, they want to see you rise up and then take down the top contenders, and that's ultimately what we're gonna do.
I mean, Fable really established themselves as, a force to be reckoned with in Mexico City. I mean, I was watching them play, and I can tell you that they were playing out of their minds. Like, the stuff that they were doing.
They were locked in, man.
Yeah, they were. They
locked
really were, and all the credit in the world to them for their practicing and their ability to come out and play as well as they did. At a LAN event in a hostile environment for them, it was just amazing to watch, and the stuff that they were able to do was something that it was really legendary. Hydrone, I tip my cap to you because wow, you really showed the world like who you were, and you established yourself as one of the better players in the entire Gears of War community as far as.
And shout out to Marsh too. It was Marsh's first event, I believe.
Yeah,
they just picked him up.
He came out, and I mean.
And he just put out,
he
dude.
came out and he played like a madman, dude. I mean, it was just one of those things where, you love to see that, because it gives hope to other, not Optic, not Ghost, not
right, the top four.
United. It gives hope to other organizations, like Motiv8 Gaming. I'm sure it inspires us, and our players quite a bit that, if they can do it, why not us? So. And that's something to look forward to in the future, like the Las Vegas announcement. Let's talk about that for a second.
Oh, man, I'm so excited for that.
Another Las Vegas event, guys.
Sin City, baby.
We were super excited. We were super excited with that announcement. I personally think that it's going to be one of the better events in the United States. Last year's event was absolutely insane. This year's is going to be even better. It's something that Las Vegas, it's one of those venues that, man, everyone gets excited for. Hopefully everyone stays out of trouble, but I think, it comes down to professionalism and really knowing what you're getting yourself into when you step foot into Las Vegas, right? I mean, about the lights, about the gaming, about,
it's a party town.
Get into.
Obviously, it's a party town.
So it's all about staying focused for me, when it comes to Las Vegas and just knowing what you're there to accomplish. For Motiv8 Gaming, and I know all of our guys, we want to hold up that trophy. We want to hold up the trophy, and we think that we can do it. But ultimately, it comes down to focus, and it comes down to execution, right? I mean, we have to be able to execute when our name is called. So I have all the faith in the world of our squad. I think we have 5 of the most genuine young men in the community. But at the same time, I understand that Las Vegas is Las Vegas, I mean, guys, sometimes they make bad decisions. Sometimes they don't think all the way through their actions. But, it's going to be a test both at the event and away from the venue. You know what I mean? And I think this is really what's going to show us and a lot of the organizations out there the quality of the character of our players, and for me, I have no doubt in our guys. It's just a matter of, them showing us what they got, and for everyone out there listening, understand that you guys, hopefully, if you're watching, are professional gamers, and the professional comes before the gamer.
It's a lifestyle, man.
Just because. Yeah, you have to live it, and you have to breathe it, and you have to understand that is your title now. You can't just be a gamer. Now you're a professional gamer, so now you represent more than yourself. And that's just kind of my spiel on that. But yeah, Las Vegas is going to be sick. That there's going to come out with some awesome Las Vegas weapon skins. Some awesome Las Vegas
supporter
gear.
packs. Buy supporter packs, guys.
Yeah,
it greatly benefits the community.
Absolutely.
Support Gears
Hopefully,
Esports.
Motivate Gaming, what we're trying to do and what we hope that we can accomplish at Las Vegas is put up a Motivate Gaming booth at the event. If there's other organizations listening to this podcast right now, please, let's push for this. This is only going to grow the community. This is going to grow sales. It's going to grow fandom. We are going to be able to actually move product and get people more involved who might not have been involved before. You know, people asking questions about, oh, what does this brand stand for? Oh, what does that brand stand for? You know, what games do you guys play? This and that. You know, it gets people involved, and it gets people who might not necessarily have interest in professional gaming. It gets them more interested in it. You know, so Las Vegas, you know, we're pushing for you. We're coming for you. I know our guys are going to be super ready. I think they're even thinking about streaming tomorrow, which, you know, I personally told them to take some time off and, you know, kind of recover a little bit from the
Take
event.
a couple days, relax. Yep.
Exactly, but they're anxious. You know, they weren't satisfied at all with the top 8 finish, and they're expecting themselves to do even better.
They're hungry.
This time around.
They're definitely hungry.
They're hungry. Yeah.
And speaking about the guys, go ahead, Los. My bad.
No, I just wanted to touch on the guys for a second as well. One guy in particular that I think we really need to shout out is Vital Sam. You know, finally getting his pro status. What do you think that means for him, and what do you think it means for, you know, legitimizing ourselves as an organization, Cam?
Well, you know, I feel like before this event, you know, I feel like he had a little bit of buzz about his name, but I feel like after this event, it really solidified his stance in Gears Esports as a professional player. I feel like he's heavily underrated, and you know, I look at Sam and I see him being one of the top players in Gears Esports, you know, sooner rather than later, just by how smart he is, the slaying potential that he has, you know, his chemistry with Hessa and the other guys, and you know, he's almost like a mini leader, you know, he's very hype, and I'm so proud of him, you know, to be honest, as you know, for Motiv8 Gaming and just himself. He just went out there and he showed out, and you know, the rest of the guys did, and now we're seeing the fruits of their labor. Obviously, you know, they weren't impressed with top 8, but I know you feel this way, Carlos. You know, we're very happy with how they played, and we also know what they want to do in the future. So I couldn't be more happy with Sam and the guys. You know, just great job.
Oh yeah, I mean, for me, one word to describe Vital is a winner. You know, I mean, this guy just goes out there and he wants to win, you know, and he does whatever it takes, you know, whether it's crossing for his teammates, whether it's going out and fighting a 1v1, whether it's being a support player, you know, whether it's motivating the team, you know, getting hype, you know, he does what's necessary to win a match, you know, and that's someone that I really, really, really support, and that's an attitude that I really, really like, because I understand that that attitude is what's going to make him successful. Whether it's in Gears, whether it's outside of gaming, it doesn't matter, because winners are winners, man. You know, he's going to find a way to get the job done, you know, and I think that's the aspect of him that gets undervalued, because you can't put it on paper. It won't show on a stat sheet. It will not show on a kill-death ratio. It won't show on, you know, time dead or number of kills or caps, you know. Excuse me.
And another thing,
really is an intangible.
Right. And touching on that, you know, you're talking outside of game, you know, when we started this org, Carlos, I just looked at it as an opportunity, you know, like these are real careers here, you know, and these are young men, you know, they're still kids. They're young men, they're growing, they're maturing, and it's just an opportunity to help these guys become men, essentially, you know, and become professional, you know,
yeah.
in game and out of game, you know. It's very important, and I take pride in it. I take pride in giving my advice to these guys, and just watching them grow is just, I love it. It gets a rise out of me. It's just great.
Oh, of course. I mean, I 100% agree with you, Cam. You know, I went into this, you know, and I think we all went into this initially when we started Motiv8 Gaming, not only, you know, with no intentions to actually making money off of this. We wanted to affect the community. affect, positively affect, kids' lives or young adults' lives. Something where we can really give back to this community because we're so strongly, um, you know, romantic about Gears of War, if you will. We're so deeply
Intimate.
entrenched in what Gears of War. Yeah, exactly. We really like Gears of War. We like the community,
It's our
and we
game.
want it to grow. Exactly. And we didn't go into this trying to make money. We entered this trying to make a difference. And I'm really glad that you brought that up because I think that teams should really, really put a little bit more, emphasis on building their players not only in the game but building them as young men. You know, this community, for whatever reason, is known as a toxic community, a bad community, something that you can't withstand because people are, so bad to each other, so mean to each other. People don't want to get into this community because it's so negative all the time. Well, I mean, if you look at the model that's set up, where if you don't perform, you're cut, or if you don't play to a certain standard, everyone else on the team like talks badly to you, or you know what I mean. It's all negativity. No one's building these kids up outside of the game. They're not building
Right.
character. They're just revealing it. And everyone's going to be. If you put pressure, that kind of pressure on kids. Because essentially these are kids. You know what I mean, that are playing a video game. They're gonna lash out, and that's just the way it is. That's the nature of human beings.
Hmm.
But I think one of Vital's particularly strong points is exactly that: being able to accept criticism, give criticism positively to his teammates. And it showed. It really has showed. Scrims, it showed in 2Ks, and it showed in Mexico City.
Yeah, I just and to backtrack a little bit, about making a difference and stuff. We're not like the big time orgs, the Optics, Echoes with a bunch of money. And I feel like what separates us from these other orgs is we have a deep passion for Gears of War. I've been playing the game since 2007, since Gears One. Been following esports all the way through, and I feel like a lot of these orgs, Gears is just like they got some money they can throw at it, so they just do it, just because. And I just, not to disrespect any of those orgs, props to them for the success, and where they are. But I feel like we really are different from these other orgs in terms of caring about the guys and just caring about the community as a whole. Like we want to see it grow, we want to see it succeed, and obviously, we have designs to expand into other games, in the future. But this is why we started with Gears of War, guys. If we wanted to make money, let's be honest, we wouldn't have started with Gears of War. But we want to make a difference, and we want to grow the community even more. And so
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's
that's
exactly what
basically
our
it.
goal is. And, I'm glad that we have 5 guys on the team that, stand with us and support what we're doing. I can't thank them enough for their efforts and their time and their patience with us because this is our first time doing this. But, they've shown unbelievable character throughout the journey. And once again, hats off to Vital Sam in particular for getting his pro status.
Big
And
big
really,
congrats to Sam.
ultimately what that means is respect, not only for him, but for Motiv8 Gaming. We've really put ourselves on a map in a good position going to Las Vegas. And, with that, with legitimizing ourselves, I think, our next step would be to announce the upcoming apparel line that we're going to be releasing. Um,
Yep, apparel line
you know,
website
we
launch.
Yep, we have some really cool stuff going on within the organization itself. Um, we're going to be getting some amazing apparel right here in Miami. We're going to be putting it on our website. Shout out to IV Graphics for working with us. Our website is going to launch within the day. We've been in contact with Spencer from IV Graphics for about 2 weeks now. Everyone that is looking for a quality esports website, please hit Spencer up, ivgraphics.com. one of
Yeah,
the most
shout out to
website
Spencer. He's
designers
been great to
that
work
we've seen
with.
him. Absolutely professional in his delivery of products, and in his communication. Um, you know, and with the website, we're gonna obviously launch that. We're gonna have our upcoming apparel line, guys. It's gonna be really really cool and really unique. We're gonna have multiple different designs. It won't just be logos. It won't just be shirts and hoodies and stuff. We have numerous stuff going out. Some surprises. We have the shakers and we have the hats and we have the polos, etc. But I think we're gonna have some cool stuff, unique stuff. I think that's really gonna set us apart. So that's coming up, and all that stuff is gonna be released soon enough. But ultimately, that leads to expansion from the team. We're looking to expand this team constantly.
A viewer just
And
asked, what games are we looking to expand into?
what games are we looking to expand into? So in particular, right now we're looking for a Fortnite team. We recently just got into contact with a Fortnite player who agreed to terms with us. So we are looking for a complete Fortnite team to make content for us, to really put us on the map when it comes to Fortnite. We are a big believer in what Fortnite is doing. Free-to-play games are the hit in esports nowadays, and we're definitely looking forward to, revealing a Fortnite team soon enough. So yeah, if you're a Fortnite player out there, or of people who play Fortnite, don't hesitate to contact us. We are accepting applications, and we're accepting interest from all Fortnite players at this point. Show us your stuff. We're definitely open to everybody. Not everyone's going to get picked, obviously, or selected, or agree to terms with us. Some people are asking for some serious stuff that even the organization can't offer at this moment. You know what? I think ultimately we're gonna expand with or without certain people. And that's just the reality of it.
Absolutely.
We have momentum going into the future, and we plan on riding it for sure.
And to touch on that, guys, the Fortnite thing, we're also developing a content creation team. If you and that's not just for Fortnite, but for any game, anything creative, really. We're looking to get a lot of content going, and a lot of fresh content to our YouTube channel, to our website. And if you guys out there, anybody out there thinks they have some ideas for content, and it could be anything, guys, feel free to send us an email, Motiv8 Inc@gmail.com, and share your ideas with us, guys, because there could be room for you to be a part of the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. With the content team, obviously one of our roster members is actually going to be the head of our content team, Domes M8.
The biggest content creator in
vital,
Gears of War.
Oh man, this guy is such a vital part of this community, guys. If you don't follow him, do it right now. If you don't subscribe to his YouTube channel, do it right now, guys. He makes some of the best content in Gears of War. And not only that, he's a great person, great player, and I'm really, really excited for what he has in store for us as a content creation leader. And I know he's already, said some really, really cool stuff to me personally, and
we got big
forward,
things
I'm
going
really
on,
excited to
guys.
See what he could do. Absolutely.
Big things,
do.
guys.
Yeah.
And one of the viewers said stream team, and yeah, that's kind of what we're meaning, stream team / content creation team, So yeah, that's exactly what we're saying.
Yeah, essentially that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow this organization quickly, but at the same time, we're looking for quality people. And we're excited for Domes. We're excited that he accepted our offer because we understand how huge of an asset he is as a person and as a player, and for what he can do for us. So yeah, as of today, I believe that's going to wrap up our show. Our Motivate Monday, episode 2, numero 2. Thank you guys for everyone who was watching. If you watch in the future, thank you. Please post a comment. Let us know how we did. Let us know what we should talk about in the future. My name is Carlos Suárez, owner of Motiv8 Gaming. I cannot thank you enough for your support today and this past weekend, getting us to over 400 followers on Twitter.
It's humbling.
For us.
Humbling, guys.
Exactly. So thank you so much from our end.
Before we end this, Carlos, I gotta say just a couple things before we send this off here. Our podcast, after we stream it, it's gonna be directly uploaded to our YouTube channel every week. We're constantly trying to improve the quality, the aesthetics. We're trying to get some graphics made because, unfortunately, the situation we're in right now, we can't be in front of the camera and have a traditional podcast, but trust us, guys, we're doing everything we can to make it as cool as it can be. We're trying to hone in the audio, so thank you guys for bearing with it. It's going to constantly improve every week, and if you want to ever, say you're out and you miss the podcast, it's going right up onto our YouTube channel, so you guys can watch it there if you miss it.
Catch it on Twitch, catch it on YouTube. However you do it, just catch it. We're announcing some exciting stuff each and every week, so thank you again. And yeah, we'll see you next week for episode 3.
Thanks, guys. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you next week.